Alright, Ho Ho Silver, away. Welcome everybody. Johnny's quick voice note on my way home. So today we are going, or I am going to talk about whenever you start a back door's open. Pause this thought. I'm gonna have to pull over. We have a back door issue. Alright, take two. So just leave it running. Okay, so whenever you set a goal, a target for yourself, and you start doing something for yourself, like doing a transformation course, losing weight, going on a diet, going on a bodybuilder weight cut for a show, training for an event, anything of that kind of nature of self-improvement, you have obstacles and opponents show up. And who knows why, but sometimes when you set a goal, like a fitness goal, you get things like a cold will show up. Maybe it's the universe or God, whatever you want to call it, testing how much you really want it or don't want it. Today I'm really going to talk about opponents, and you have three opponents. These are people in your life, and they're very necessary because in order for you to be a hero of your story, you have to have adversaries. And these adversaries come in three different forms. You have external opponents. So let's say you work in an office, and let's say you've let it be known that you're fasting or that you want to start eating a bit cleaner. You'll have people that you know that will come up to you and say, well, what will it matter if you have one sweet? They'll try and peer pressure you. They're not doing it because they want you to fail. They're doing it because everybody wants everybody to have a natural equilibrium, that we're all on the same level. Which is why it can be problematic for people in relationships to be one trying to eat super healthy and the other not. That's not the worst one. The worst one is alcohol. When one of you wants to stop drinking alcohol and the other one doesn't, that causes a lot of problems. And normally what happens is you either bring that person up with you, or you go back down, or you find some other mechanism to make it work. But I've gone off track a little bit. First of all, it's your external opponents. Now, what I would say when it comes to external opponents, people you work with, people you know, friends, not close friends, is if you're going to worry about what they're thinking and what they think of you, you're kind of screwed. You can't pay external people in your life much mind at all. If they think you're bonkers, crazy, or you're eating the wrong type of food, so what? Let them think that. You know, their opinion should not matter to you. You know why you're doing it. You know why it's the right thing. I'm going to overtake. Whoa, the power. But if you start worrying about their opinion, you're on a hiding for nothing. So when you're in the office and you're being good and someone's trying to throw you off plan, don't pay any mind. And if they say silly things like, you know, everything in moderation, you know, you got to live a little, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you have got to live a little, but the problem is you're living too much, too many treats. So many treats that they're not treats anymore. So kind of want to get rid of those external opponents, drown the noise out, turn the volume down on those people. The second one, these are a bit more tricky. They're intimate opponents. They could be your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, possibly siblings, although I would put siblings in external for me. Your partner, your mother, your wife, family members, of course, people that you actually value their opinion. They can be a bit tricky to deal with, because obviously when they say things, it hurts you. If they say, like, you know, you don't need to lose weight, or it's silly trying to lose weight, or you always try this and you always give up, that'll be a great one people say. You know, when we do these, I hope that you all are 100% in on this, because many times I start people off and I know they're not 100%. Now, I must have started 1,000 weight cuts in my life, but I go to bed every night having started one and I'm 100% in. I never start one 80 in, 20 out, or 50 in, 50 out. You know, I might break the next day, but I'm always in it. So when you have internal opponents, you need some kind of mechanism to try and explain that you're doing this for your health, and just understand that they're not doing it, they're not trying to thwart you because they hate you. They're doing it actually because they love you, and they want you to be on a par, on a balance with them. And if you're really, really honest, if they really, really cared for you, they kind of would support you. But I know it's not always the case, but you just have to manage those as best you can. But they tie in with the next opponent, which is the hardest one, which is your internal opponent. That's you. So you have an energy in you that wants you to quit, and it will use the intimate relationships you have in order to get what it wants. So your mum's staying over, she's baked you a cake, she wants you to try the cake, you're going to have to have a slice. Your internal opponent, you, says, let's just park this cyclist and not run him over, give him lots of room. Lovely. Your internal opponent will go, well, your mum's over, she's going to want you to eat lots of naughty food, so you might as well just give up. And I'm here to tell you that there is always a way. There's always a way you can manage the intimate people that are trying to get you off plan. There's always a way you can have one slice of cake and then fast for longer, train for longer, you know, eat a little less, count the calories of that one cake. I know not all calories are equal, but there are ways that you can do it. It's your own internal opponent when you've had one bad day that goes, well, you screwed up today, so you're done. But it's not about how many times you screw up. It's about how many times you get back on. You know, I've had clients who've been with me for years, some decades, and something just clicks, and then they follow through and they stick with the plan. This could be the best. This could be the one transformation or the one diet phase or the one zone phase you go to that links in and keeps you linked in forever. We don't know that it won't. So never write yourself off after one bad day, and never listen to that negative energy in you that will use the negative energy of your opponents that are around you to get what it wants. Because ultimately, the first one that I discussed, the external opponents, they matter not. Unfortunately, the intimate ones don't matter either. They're all excuses for your third one, which is your internal opponent, to mess you up. Because it all boils down to that one. We, all of us, have an energy inside that says we're not good enough, we're weak, we're not going to make it. And you have to be careful of that one, because he's as cunning as a fox, or she is as cunning as a fox. She'll make it, he'll make it. Like, you have to be perfect to be good. You have to be perfect. That's a backdoor gonna make you fail, because if you're not perfect, then you're not perfect, and now you failed, so you might as well not bother. So you have to be careful when you're reading these inner voices that they're not demanding too much perfection and they're not demanding enough. It's a very fine sort of purple patch we're going for, where I always say it's like how you would want a good parent to parent a child. You have to be loving with yourself, but you have to be firm. Not too firm that if there's a little mess up, well, you've blown it now, you might as well give up. And not demanding absolute perfection, because everything in moderation, including a little bit of moderation. So now we have to have times where we go off plan and be able to get back off plan, but you have to manage it really, really well. And it's, you know, I haven't mastered it by any stretch of the imagination, as a lot of you know. But the key is never giving up is the key, because the people that do the worst, and these transformations, honestly, they're a terrible business idea, because we lose so many members through them. Because what happens is they lose a lot of weight, they do a good transformation, and then life gets in the way and throws them a curveball, and they go off plan, they put the weight back on, they get embarrassed, and then they leave because they feel like they failed. And they haven't failed, it's just life threw them a curveball and it all went a bit wrong. You don't think life's thrown me a few curveballs and I've gone off plan a few times and had regressions and had relapses of all manner of things. It's the people that are the most successful people that I've ever trained are the people that are still with us and gone to other places and trained. You don't have to do it with us, but you don't quit. That's the key, is not quitting. Actually, I'll park down here so Marie's got the drive. Just do a little 3-point turn. Don't worry, Claire, I can look at the camera. There's no one here. We're in a cul-de-sac. It's as safe as houses, because it is houses. And now the last one we'll quickly just talk about is, I've got this all completely wrong. As wrong as you could get this, I have actually got this. So let's just pull forward here. I'm looking in my mirror, not the camera. The next one I want to talk about is curveballs. Life. So occasionally, life will throw you a curveball, and these ones you kind of have to play by ear, right? Because it'd be very easy for me to say, do you know what? Just deal with it. You know, that's what it's all about. Being able to stay on. It's not about staying on plan when the weather's sunny and it's nice and warm. It's about when the wind is blowing and the storm is blowing. Can you stay on plan? The reality is there are some life situations that turn up that make it very, very difficult to stay on plan. Weirdly, the worst the life situations are, if they're really, really bad, people tend to stay on plan because they don't tend to eat, most people. So again, if life throws you a curveball, don't be too hard on yourself if you go off plan. It's about getting back on plan as soon as you can when life either goes back to normal, or is it a possibility that the voice inside you have said, you know, this has gone wrong in my life, so that's an excuse to come off plan. Like I just said, you've got to be firm but loving. There are some situations which you go, okay, like life has just gone too hectic now. I don't have time for this. But a caveat to that is, where are you metabolically, I would say. So if we're fine tuning because you're an athlete and you're metabolically pretty sound, and we're just trying to finish the last layer of the cake and make you like the best version of yourself, sometimes, you know, going off plan is not the end of the world. But if you are metabolically challenged and you are metabolically unstable, I would say be very careful of life events, particularly illnesses in the family, knocking you off plan, because you know where I'm going with this, because we want to be healthy, right? And you have to be careful that someone else's bad health doesn't then link into you not looking after yourself for your health, especially if we have children. You know, if we have children, we have a kind of an obligation, if you like, to try and stay healthy for longer so we can look after them, especially in the financial climate of today, because young people are buying themselves any houses anytime soon. So we have to try and upregulate our longevity, and don't give in too easy to your internal opponent that is going to use your intimate relationships and your external relationships as an excuse to throw you off plan. Hopefully that made sense. That's opponents. Yeah, I'll do. Johnny out. Have a good day, everyone. Take care.